GTA Math, what's up? So we're going to solve a system of equations using substitution. So there's two different problems we have here. We have the one that's highlighted in green, and we also have the one that's highlighted in pink/purple. I'm going to solve first for the equation in green, and we're going to solve for x. So I'm going to write it over here. 3x plus 2y equals 7. I want to get everything on one side so I can get x by itself. So I'm going to take this 2y and subtract it. Now we're left with 3x equals 7 minus 2y. I'm going to take this 3 and divide it by everything over here. And I'm going to just write it on this side. And we're going to be left with x equals 7 thirds minus 2 thirds y. This is our new written equation for this part of the problem. So I'm going to put a 1 here, and I'm going to put a 1 here. Now, we're going to plug in the information we have for 1 into the purple problem. And that's a good thing to call it, the purple problem. So I'm going to plug in all of this stuff in here where I see an x. So we're going to be left with 7 times 7 thirds minus 2 thirds y plus 5y equals 18. So just to recap, what we did was we solved this problem for x, problem number 1. We took everything that x equaled, which is here, and we substituted all of the things that x equaled into problem number 2. And then we put this information into the problem wherever we saw x. So now everything is in terms of y. So in this problem, we're solving for y now. So we're going to take this and distribute. We're going to multiply this 7 here and here. 7 times 7, because this is really 7 over 1. In case that confuses you. This is going to be 49 over 3 minus 14 over 3y plus 5y equals 18. So the next thing I'm going to do is put everything that has a variable on one side and everything that has a number on another side. So I'm going to put a circle above the things with a variable, and then everything that is a number, I'm just going to underline. So I'm going to change the colors again. And I'm going to subtract this 49 over 3. I'm going to rewrite this a little bit cleaner so we don't get lost. The new problem is actually this. It's negative 14 over 3y plus 5y equals 18 minus 49 over 3. So all we did was took everything with the variable, which was the y, and we put it on one side, and then we subtracted the 49 over 3, and we put it on the side with the 18. So now we have variables on one side, and then we have numbers on one side. So now we're just going to be combining like terms. That's all we're doing here. It's a lot harder to write with a stylus than it looks, so be nice. So here we're just going to be adding, right? So let's use a different color to add. Let's do blue. So if we're going to make these the same, we're going to have to make this have the same denominator, because this is really 18 over 1. So let's multiply both of these things by 3. So 3 over 3 times 18 over 1 is going to equal 54 over 3. So I'm going to rewrite this a little bit cleaner. So now we have negative 14 over 3y plus 5y equals 54 over 3 minus 49 over 3. And if we subtract these two, we're going to end up with 5 over 3. And then we have to make sure we don't forget about the negative 14 thirds and the 5y. So we're going to take this and we're going to say, okay, 14 over 3 plus 5 over 1. And then we're going to say, how do we make these the same denominators? We're going to multiply this by 3 over 3. And now we're going to end up with 14 thirds, which is negative. I forgot about that. Plus 15 over 3. And then from here, when we simplify it, we're going to be left with 1/3. Because 15 plus negative 14 is 1. The denominators stay the same. And we're going to keep the y. So we're going to end up with 1/3 y. And then from here, we're going to just kind of clean everything up. I know I made a mess, I apologize, but this is what the problem looks like now. We have 1/3 y equals 5/3. And from here, we have to take the reciprocal. Reciprocal. Forgot how to spell it. So we're going to take this, and we're going to multiply it by 3 over 1. I guess not. Wow, okay. These are going to cancel, and then we're going to multiply by 3 over 1 here. These are going to cancel. Now we're left with y equals 5. This is a lot of work. I know it's confusing because my work is all over the place, but we're going to take this 5 and we're going to plug it back in to one of these equations. So to make things simple, we're going to plug 5 into problem number 1. Problem number 1 is 3x plus 2y equals 7. And I'm going to insert some more space. Well, it's not cooperating. Alright, so we're going to do this instead. So we're going to plug in this 5 into this problem. So we're going to have 3x plus 2, and then we're going to plug in the 5 equals 7. And then we're going to solve. 2 times 5 is 10, so we're going to end up with 3x plus 10 equals 7. We're going to subtract 10. And then from here, we're going to end up with 3x equals 3. And we're going to divide 3. And we're going to end up with x equals 1. Now our ordered pair is 1, 5. And this is our answer. This is the x value, and this is the y value. I know the work is all over the place, but it's kind of tough writing this and explaining it in a way that makes sense, so I do apologize. But please feel free to rewatch it. If you get stuck on any steps, try your best to kind of just keep navigating through the problem. These just take a bunch of practice because you have to learn how to substitute, solve for a specific variable, and then plug all that information back into another equation. But if you use the steps we did, you should be fine. The first thing we did was we solved for one variable, whether it was x or y. When we solve for it, like we did here, in this part where there's the 1, we plugged this 1 into problem 2 wherever we saw x. And then from there we solved for y. When we got our y value, we plugged in our y value, and then we put it back inside of problem number 1, and that gave us what we have here, which is our x. So if you didn't understand it the first time, feel free to rewatch the video, and it should definitely clarify things. Good luck with your homework, and I hope this gives you a good shot at moving forward in case you get stuck outside of class. And once again, for everybody that showed up, tuned in, thank you for your time. Let's continue to learn, love, and grow together on this journey of life. Take care, everybody.